Somewhere around 2021, posting a screenshot of a Stripe notification and writing something like consistency pays off with a praying hands emoji. It was basically a business model. And look, it worked, but in 2026, online coaching has gotten hard. Not impossible, just hard in a way that it never used to be. Coaches who are finding it hard to get leads and clients, it's not because they're bad, it's because the market changed and their strategy didn't. And I know you've already heard everyone tell you that trust is at an all-time low. And in addition to that, the problem is that everyone's running the same game plan. And logically, the coaches who are better at that game plan than you will win every single time. And I'm one of the people who launched my coaching business in 2021. I got the benefits of this. We scaled to six-figure months faster than I ever thought possible. And then it got hard. And I've adjusted my strategy since. So I'm going to share with you exactly what's changed and what you need to do differently if you want to win in this new market. It's no secret that a lot of people got very rich very fast in 2020 to 2023. And for a while, it felt like all you had to do was show up, post some content, book calls, and close deals. And that is pretty much how it was. But that era's over. A lot of coaches are still playing catch up and doing the things now which worked back then. Meanwhile, the front runners have moved on. And so that's created a divide in this industry. If you're familiar with the Pareto principle, it's pretty much the 80-20 rule, where 20% of the inputs results in 80% of the outputs, or 20% of the people get 80% of the results. And that happens in everything. But in our industry, I find it more like 90-10. So a small group of coaches are going to have more opportunity than ever. And a large group, unfortunately, about to get completely wiped out. And I'll explain how to know which side of the divide you're on so that you know the right strategy to do something about it. So like I was saying, in 2020 to about 2023, if you're around to experience it, close rates were high. PIFs were normal. Ads were cheap. Trust was high. Man, it was a beautiful time. You could make some simple text posts on Facebook, a simple reel on Instagram, send a few DMs inviting people to a call. You could send people to a Facebook group and use that as your funnel with some questions. Or you could use a traditional funnel like a ClickFunnels, run some traffic, and the money came in. And I saw it myself. My clients saw it. We did it. And it was real. But here's the thing about gold rushes. They always end. By late 2023, early 2024, I noticed something was off. I noticed it in my own business first. Calls became harder to book. People were showing up with more objections. Close rates dropped. People needed to think about it. And less people were piffing. And when I spoke to my clients, I thought maybe it was just my business, the coaching coaches space, the helping businesses scale. That really exploded. So I thought maybe it was just my business. But when I spoke to my clients, I found out that they were noticing the exact same thing. The market got saturated. Thousands of coaches flooded in chasing the same opportunity, whether it was helping businesses scale, whether it was becoming dropshipping coaches, e-com coaches, Forex coaches, whatever it was, health coaches. And quite frankly, a lot of them fucked up the marketplace. Fake guarantees, overpromised results, underdelivered programs. People got scammed. And now they don't trust as easily. And so it's happened to me too. I've paid. I've had people deliver, complete rubbish. Some terrible coaching programs. And even one coach I remember specifically, he changed his whole social media coaching program into a high-ticket closing agency mid-cycle. Not even joking. So now people are more skeptical than ever before. I don't blame them. They need to see more. It's gone from where they would just piff right away to needing to spend 3 months researching before they buy a $97 program. They need proof. So RIP to the days of people seeing one post or an ad and booking in. Those are long gone. But if you're still operating like it's those days, like it's 2021, you're digging yourself into a bigger hole. But even though trust is an issue, it's only one part of the problem. There's something else that's making this even harder. And that's that coaching has become unnecessarily complex. People think they need complicated funnels, elaborate tech stacks, and 17-step systems just to get a client. And you think that. But then you see coaches who are just on one or two platforms, some simple videos, a simple Google Doc and no ads, and they're signing clients left and right. So systems are good. I've built my entire business and infrastructure on systems. But when you're overwhelmed by your systems, you'll get overwhelmed everywhere. And before you know it, you can't even think creatively, you can't serve your clients, and you can't grow. And on top of the complexity, what happens then is with all these people coming into the marketplace, everyone sounds the same. I know you've seen it. The same offer, the same promises, the same frameworks, hell, even the same bloody language. Your prospects get audience fatigue, and the message, it doesn't mean anything anymore. You know when you just say a word over and over again and that word loses all meaning? That's what happens when you sound like everybody else. So what are the coaches who are winning now doing differently? Well, there's a few things that I've noticed firsthand in my own business and also with the clients I work with to help scale their coaching businesses. And one of the biggest mistakes I see coaches are making right now is they're selling instead of giving people reasons to buy. You see, there's no high-ticket virgins left. I use that term quite a bit, but your prospect has already invested. They've already bought something bad. Their guard is already up. They've seen the same promises 100 times. They've been hard sold, guaranteed results, life-changing income. They don't believe it anymore. So instead of telling them what it is and trying to sell to them, simply show them what it is. Novel idea, right? Show them what it is and let them choose to buy. So build the boat before they even get on it. This could be free resources, content that solves their problems. Just demonstrate that it actually works because you already know that they're going to do their research on you. So make sure that you have things they can find. I call this marketing propaganda. And when people want to research me before a call, I want them to. I'm happy when they've done that. I know they've researched me and I want them to research me before the call. Good. But most people, when they research you, the problem is they find nothing. So if they look for you on YouTube to find some of your process videos, they find nothing. Social content, they find nothing. So what if you had YouTube videos, social content, a free community, maybe a Substack? I'm not saying to spread yourself thin and have all these. Start small and add to it, but have something. Because once they've done all this research and then they book the call, this changes the dynamic from you selling to them buying. Like honestly, we don't do sales calls anymore. You can click a link and book a call with us in the description, absolutely. But it's not a sales call. It's a fit call. You genuinely have to qualify, and then we have to see that it's a fit to actually work together because we only work with people that we know we can help. So that's changed our sales calls from being about sales to actually seeing if it's a fit, seeing if we can provide the value to get them to take the next step if it makes sense. And then we're basically cashiers collecting money because the people have already seen our process. They know how it works. They're familiar with my content. They've done their research. They know the price range, so we're not hiding or gatekeeping anything. They get there, it's just a fit or not a fit, and we're just like cashiers. That's it. And that actually takes me on to my next point. So now that we know people will research you, you can create these assets. But these assets are not just all going to be on one place. We know they're going to be on different platforms, like I said. They might be on YouTube, Instagram, etc. So we show up in those places. For the longest time, people sent people straight to a funnel, and funnels still work. But the people who are winning with the funnels, they're building ecosystems that send people to the funnels. They want to see maybe your prospect, that is, a video from you to build trust or to see your process while you're there on YouTube. Then maybe you have their email and they get emails from you so you stay top of mind and you can provide quick nuggets when they can't necessarily watch your video, but you're there. And then you have AI. So you don't need to become a tech whiz, but the coaches who can use AI to collapse time, and actually it's a good thing I use that term, that's all coaching is really. It's getting people a result and collapsing time and helping get there with certainty. But the coaches that can collapse time and help clients win faster, they will win over the ones who don't. So it's not about whether you like AI or you don't. It's about the way the market's moving. So you can embrace it or you can get left behind. And the next thing I'm sure you've seen is everyone is essentially selling the same thing right now. The same outcomes, the same frameworks, hell, even the same language. And when everything looks the same, smells the same, sounds the same, price becomes the only differentiator. That's a race to the bottom. And I know you've heard this in the space, but what makes your offer genuinely different? Not just a new name on the same program, a truly unique mechanism, the specific way you get results that nobody else is doing or talking about in the same way as you. And yes, obviously the fundamentals are going to be the same. Like a weight loss coach, it's eat less and move more. Yeah, that's going to be the fundamentals of it. But the way that's done and the way it's packaged. So the angle has to be different. The story has to be different. The wrapping has to be different. Let me think about this. I'll age myself a bit here. I seem to remember back, I think it was the iPhone 4 or the iPhone 4S. And Apple came out and said this has retina display. I think it was the 4 or 4S. It's going back a long time now. They said this has retina display. And you might think, oh, this is a retina display. It does something to my retinas. No, all retina display was was a certain resolution, a number of pixels by another number of pixels. And it wasn't even the highest resolution at the time, which was quite comical. There were Android phones with higher resolution, but Apple said, we have a Retina display. And it shows that it worked, because I still remember Retina display going on, 10 or 15 years now. I remember that term, Retina display. And so it didn't actually mean anything, right? It's the way they packaged it up. And same with one more current from Apple, liquid glass. What does that even mean? No, it's not liquid glass, I'll tell you that. But it's the way that they've branded it. It's kind of idea branding. And even though you may not like this or I may not like this, it's necessary, because if you sound like everyone else, then people have no reason to choose you. And taking this away from technology, even if we think about like a chocolate bar on a shelf, right? You can have the best chocolate, but if your wrapper doesn't appeal to people, no one's going to buy it. And this matters because people don't pay for information anymore. You already know information's free, right? You can Google anything, you can find a YouTube video on anything, you can AI things. What people are paying for is transformation. So they're paying for somebody to take them from where they are right now to where they want to be. So a lot of people are getting scared off by AI. AI made information free. Yeah, I guess it did, but AI provides information, doesn't provide transformation. AI gives you the process. It doesn't give you the accountability to get the results from that process. And AI doesn't provide implementation. So ask yourself honestly, are you selling information or are you selling transformation? And that leads me directly to the final point that I want to discuss here. This is the one that determines whether you come out of this as a business or just another freelancer who gets left behind. Whether you like it or not, people are placing you in one of two categories. You're either a freelancer, someone who trades time for money, chases clients, and operates reactively. Or you're a business, someone with systems, a brand, a clear offer, and a market position that attracts clients rather than chasing them. Now, this gold rush that I described in 2020 to 2023, this rewarded everyone, but it definitely rewarded the freelancers because the supply couldn't match the amount of demand that was coming into the marketplace from people who, were off work, all the shutdowns. They had an abundance of savings and capital they were sitting on. So a lot of that demand spilled over to the freelancers. But that era's over. The market now rewards businesses, the ones who have built something real, a brand that people trust, an offer that people want, and a system that, quite frankly, works. This coaching and information industry, it's not dying. Don't get it twisted. It's evolving. It's the people who adapt who are going to have more opportunities than ever. And it's simple science, right? You think back to evolution, those who adapt will survive. So if you want to know what the rich coaches are really doing differently to the poor coaches to position themselves on the right side of this divide, I've left a video around here that you can check out next. And while you're at it, subscribe as well so you don't miss any more content like this. I'll see you over there.